What if the powers of ancient gods fell into the hands of a teenager who just wanted to hold his family together? The movie begins in a quiet museum in Greece. Tourists shuffle between marble statues and ancient relics as a guide speaks of forgotten myths. She gestures to a mysterious staff from the tales of Homer, a weapon said to channel the power of all gods. But before her story can finish, two armored figures appear, shattering the calm. They move like shadows, faces hidden behind Spartan helmets. With a thunderous crack, they smash the glass case and seize the relic. When the helmets come off, the world learns who they truly are: Hespera and Calypso, daughters of Atlas. As they clutch the staff, waves of divine energy ripple through the air. Their long-lost powers surge back into their veins. Calypso raises her hand, and in an instant, chaos erupts. She whispers an ancient spell that infects every security guard with madness, turning them into glassy-eyed puppets. The alarms scream, the doors seal, the terrified tourists pound on locked exits. But it's useless. Hespera grows impatient, unleashing her elemental magic. Marble statues twist and come alive, imprisoning humans within their cold stone shells. As screams echo through the museum, Calypso turns to her sister with a cruel smile. "Human champions are still humans," she sneers, but Hespera warns her, "Do not underestimate the wizard's judgment. His champions were chosen with purpose." Far away in Philadelphia, Billy Batson, now known to the world as Shazam, vents his frustrations to a bewildered pediatrician. Despite his godlike powers, Billy feels powerless in the one thing that matters most: keeping his family together. His siblings, all blessed with powers of their own, are growing distant. Each one has their own dreams, their own lives, leaving Billy afraid that his once united team is falling apart. But Billy's pity party ends abruptly when disaster strikes. A bridge is collapsing over the Delaware River, flames licking at twisted steel. Without hesitation, Billy summons the rest of the Shazam family. Lightning flashes. The team rockets across the city sky. The bridge is chaos. Vehicles teeter on the edge. People scream for help, and the entire structure groans as its supports crumble. The Shazam family dives into action, pulling civilians from cars, welding steel cables, and catching falling debris midair. Billy fights desperately to save everyone, but even heroes can't stop nature's fury. With one last snap, the bridge collapses into the river below. Though every civilian is saved, Billy knows they barely scraped by. Afterward, he calls an emergency family meeting inside the Rock of Eternity, their secret base hidden in another dimension. Billy tries to rally his siblings, insisting they train harder and work as one. But his words fall flat. Mary is distracted by college textbooks, Eugene is too busy exploring magical portals, and Freddie makes excuses to leave early. One by one, they drift away, leaving Billy alone in silence, a hero without a team. At school, Freddie limps through the halls on his crutch when he meets a new transfer student, Anne. She's kind, curious, and seems genuinely interested in him. But before they can talk, two bullies appear, knocking Freddie's crutch away and laughing as he falls. Just as things turn ugly, a teacher steps in, sending the jerks running. Freddie picks himself up, embarrassed but determined to impress Anne. He starts bragging, claiming he's best friends with the city's superheroes, even insisting Superman once ate lunch with him. Anne laughs, not quite believing him, but clearly intrigued. Meanwhile, in a shadowy realm beyond Earth, Hespera and Calypso stand before the imprisoned wizard Shazam. Shackled and weary, the old sorcerer glares at them as they gloat, holding the staff they've just restored. They force him to reforge the broken relic, using their powers to bend his will. When the halves fuse together, the wizard makes a desperate move. He grips a splinter of the staff and whispers an incantation, sending a faint magical warning to his champion on Earth. Across the world, Shazam dreams of having dinner with Wonder Woman, until her face suddenly morphs into the wizard's. The warning is clear: the daughters of Atlas have returned, and their vengeance is coming. Billy wakes in a sweat, unsure if it was a dream or prophecy. Later at school, Freddie and Anne's growing connection is interrupted when Billy barges in, dragging Freddie to an emergency meeting. Billy tells the group about his vision, about the daughters of Atlas. Searching for answers, they head deep into the Rock of Eternity, discovering a hidden library guarded by a magical pen named Steve. The pen comes to life, scribbling answers across the pages faster than anyone can read. From ancient texts, they learn that the staff was forged by Atlas himself, made from the wood of the Tree of Life, a weapon capable of absorbing divine power. But something else stands out. Atlas had not two daughters, but three: Hespera, Calypso, and the youngest, Anthea. Billy's heart drops. Freddie's new friend, Anne. The name sounds too close to Anthea. Before he can warn his brother, it's too late. On the school rooftop, Freddie proudly reveals his superhero alter ego to Anne, trying to impress her. But suddenly, Hespera and Calypso appear. Freddie barely has time to react before Hespera strikes him with the staff, stripping away his powers in a burst of light. Freddie falls, helpless and terrified, realizing his worst fear: he's just human again. Calypso mocks him, demanding to know where the others are, but then spots Shazam flying in from a distance. With a sinister grin, she whispers to her sister, "Let's greet the champion ourselves." Anthea's powers twist reality itself, warping the city around them. Buildings shift, gravity bends, and Billy crashes headfirst into a wall. The Shazam family rushes to help, but Hespera conjures a magical dome over the entire city, sealing them inside. Freddy is dragged away to the realm of the gods, imprisoned beside the wizard. In their prison cell, Freddy tries to stay brave, cracking jokes even as the wizard warns that hope is lost. But Freddy refuses to give up. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Billy and his siblings scramble for a plan. Using enchanted paper birds, they send a message to the sisters, a desperate offer to trade their powers for Freddy's life. When the message reaches the daughters of Atlas, Hespera considers mercy, but Calypso only laughs. "We'll take their powers and their world," she hisses. The sisters throw Freddy and the wizard into a pit guarded by a monstrous dragon named Ladon, whose very gaze spreads fear. As the beast closes in, salvation comes from an unexpected ally, Anthea. She saves Freddy and the wizard, revealing her true allegiance. Despite being a goddess, she's seen the humanity in Freddy's heart. She helps them escape through a massive labyrinth that leads back to Earth. Back in Philadelphia, Billy meets Hespera for a tense negotiation. He pleads for his brother's freedom, but Hespera refuses unless she gets the full power of Shazam. When talks break down, the family ambushes her, but Calypso was waiting. She strikes first, stealing Eugene's power and blasting Darla across the room. Lightning and chaos fill the air as Billy fights Hespera hand-to-hand. The battle rages beneath the city streets until Billy manages to overpower her, knocking her unconscious. The family drags her back to the Rock of Eternity and locks her in a magical cell, unaware that she's already plotting her escape. Moments later, Hespera slips free, reclaiming the Seed of Life, a magical apple that can regrow the realm of the gods. But Calypso has darker plans. She intends to plant the seed on Earth, where its roots would consume the planet. Freddy and the wizard chase her through the labyrinth, only for the confrontation to explode into chaos. The staff switches hands and Freddy seizes his chance. With a touch of his crutch, he restores his powers and bolts with the apple. Furious, Calypso summons her dragon, the monstrous Ladon, to hunt them down. The chase rips across dimensions and into the human world. The Shazam family fights valiantly, but Calypso drains their powers one by one. Mary grabs the apple and takes flight, hoping to save the world. But Calypso strikes her midair, sending her crashing down. Billy, powerless to save everyone, makes a desperate choice. He rescues Mary and watches in horror as Calypso plants the seed in a baseball stadium. Within moments, the roots burst through concrete, spreading across the city. From them crawl terrifying creatures, minotaurs, harpies, cyclopes, chimeras, a full-blown mythological apocalypse unleashed on Earth. The Shazam family watches in shock as chaos consumes the city. Anthea rushes to Hespera, begging her to stop this madness. She pleads with her sisters to restore their realm instead of destroying humanity. Hespera's heart softens. She sees the truth. Calypso has gone too far. But before she can act, the dragon turns on her, impaling her with its tail under Calypso's command. The eldest sister collapses, mortally wounded. Furious and betrayed, Anthea attacks, but Calypso strikes her down, draining her powers too. Now only Billy remains, the last champion. He looks at his family, powerless but defiant, and makes his decision. He tells them to distract the monsters while he takes on Calypso alone. The others scatter through the city, luring creatures away. Darla, refusing to give up, searches for an advantage. She asks the magical pen Steve, "What do these monsters fear most?" The answer scribbles itself onto the page. Unicorns. Of course, not the cute kind. These are ancient, terrifying beasts, creatures of pure darkness. But Darla believes in miracles. She races into the shadows with a bag of her favorite candy, jelly beans. When a unicorn charges from the gloom, she doesn't flinch. She tosses the jelly beans forward, and to everyone's shock, the beast stops, sniffing curiously. It crunches the candy, eyes glowing bright, and bows its head. Darla grins. "Taste the rainbow," she whispers. Soon, the Shazam family is galloping through the streets on an army of wild unicorns, scattering the mythic monsters back into the darkness. Meanwhile, Freddy and Anthea shield civilians from the chaos, standing defiant as Calypso descends from the sky atop her dragon. The creature unleashes waves of psychic energy, trying to break their minds, but Freddy's spirit is too stubborn to bend. He laughs in the face of fear, grabbing Anthea and pulling her clear just as Shazam returns. Billy charges through the flames, lightning crackling around him. He rips the staff from Calypso's grip and rockets into the sky, straight toward the Tree of Life. Hespera, wounded but still alive, sees his plan. She uses the last of her power to drop the dome that traps the city, giving Billy a clear path. He understands what he must do, overload the staff, even if it costs him his life. Billy soars into the storm, shouting his name one last time. Shazam! Thunder splits the sky. The staff ignites like a star. The explosion that follows is blinding. A shockwave of divine power that tears through the dome, vaporizes the dragon, and incinerates every monster. When the light fades, the city is saved, but Billy is gone. His lifeless body lies amid the ruins, his family kneeling beside him, broken but proud. They bury him in the realm of the gods, beneath the reborn tree of life. The wizard hangs his head, whispering that only a god could restore what was lost. But there are no gods left, or so they think. A ripple of divine energy fills the air. A familiar figure steps through the light, Wonder Woman. She smiles faintly, takes the staff from the wizard, and slams it into the ground. The earth trembles. Magic flows like fire through the soil. Flowers bloom, mountains rise, and the realm of the gods is reborn in a blaze of glory. The surge of power is so great, it brings Billy Batson back to life. He gasps, eyes opening, lightning sparking once more. His family rushes to embrace him, laughter and tears blending in one final moment of triumph. Together, they stand beneath the golden tree, heroes, siblings, and family once again. The world is safe, the gods are gone, and Shazam, the boy who wanted nothing more than to keep his family together, has finally learned what true power really means. If you were Billy and you had to choose between saving your sister or saving the entire world, what would you do? Let me know in the comments below. And that was Shazam, Fury of the Gods, a story of magic, family, and sacrifice. If you enjoyed this recap and love epic superhero tales, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more cinematic stories brought to life every week. Until next time, stay heroic.